It's that time of the month where we do roster review with a
I
Valley
love that.
Fine. I know we always say that,
I
and
love it.
we're just going to talk about where we are in the game and what we're working on. We're primarily going to talk about getting ready for the next Scourge event. So we're going to talk about Inhumans and Young Avengers and what is it, A-Force and all that good stuff.
A-Force, all three of them. Build all three, plus
And-
all your Crucible stuff.
Yeah,
and everything else.
Yeah. And then Crucible, and you went deep into Blitz in yours. I have no Blitz suggestions for anybody in this video. So if you're looking for Blitz
Does it matter? Does it matter?
Well, I don't know. I just I feel like you had like way more detailed information. I literally just hit the buttons and don't even look at the results. I couldn't even tell you what teams win or lose or if mine set up correctly because I'm just trying to get it done as quickly as possible. Total collection power 25.7.
That is almost 26 million. I remember we were pretty close at one time in collection power, and then now you're like way far away.
I think it's the being in the alliances and the alliances doing all the raids and all that stuff. It seems to make a difference. Let's go and see how many days I played the game because I don't know. Ooh, look at that, 1,600 days, 1,603 days,
nice.
And boy, that's a lot of days played, right? I played in soft launch. You probably started just shortly afterwards.
I started about a month after you.
About a month
after watching your video on this game.
Yeah. And I didn't play through all of the soft launch, so I took some time off. So I've got Lady Deathstrike because I'm farming her every day, and same thing with Magic because she's going to be farmable in a node on midweek. So I
forgot about that. Yeah, nice.
And then Wong, just because I need to finish that last piece to get him to 16, he'll be the final member without not Scarlet Witch, but everybody else will be at gear tier 16. So I'm working on him.
Okay.
Spider Woman, I have her there mostly because I use her to farm the bio gear because we don't have a way of harding bio gear, but I know so that's how I find my bio gear right there, right?
Yeah, that's what I end up having to do when I need a specific piece.
Yeah. And then I'm using Black Panther for my Mystic, right? So because every day, because what were you able to get some of those SBC offers?
Oh yes, I got two of them. I got two. How many did you get?
I got two also. Yeah, and so now I'm having a severe short fall elsewhere, not SBCs anymore, but I'm having a hard time.
Mine is Health Catalyst. Where's yours at?
It's the 14s primarily. I've been pretty good, been able to get most of the catalysts from the raid store. So like every day I pick up, in the raid store as much as I can. But I know some people are completely gone with, either health or damage catalysts. I mean, they're all over the place. And then, I've been working on my Wakandans just because, I like to use them on offense inside of Crucible and see how that plays out. Not really sure.
Offense. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like they probably would play better in my hands, but there's no way of practicing on them, so I'm gonna have to start testing that out. And then we got Phantom X and Dazzler, just there because I need to work on them slowly.
How is your testing with them going? Are you enjoying them?
No, I didn't think they're very good at all. I mean, it is what it is. Like, first of all, we don't have a complete team. Or we don't even know what the last member of the team is. And Rogue is now going to be a 6/6 on her special instead of 2/2. So I don't know how exciting that is going to be. Let's look at A-Force. And I guess I went super heavy on T4s on this because I think I think I'm going to need them anyways. Like I did all the T4s on Spider-Woman.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All of them on Captain Marvel. I just happened to have them. All of them Jessica Jones from back in the day. And then I did 2 out of the 4 on Nico. But, depending on how the event goes, I might have to do all of them.
Yeah. So I see you're building them up very strong. And is this for War Offense or for Scourge?
This is for Scourge mostly. And the side effect is I'm using them in Crucible and in War with Doom. And I'm primarily taking out Young Avengers, and I've been able to take out very large Young Avengers.
Okay, and do you think that's because of the T4s you put in, or is that mainly
it's about Doom? I think it's about Doom, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the team works well with Doom, and the reason for that is that Jessica Jones goes first, and then she can potentially give ability energy, high probability that she'll give it to Doom. Then Nico takes a turn, and she does her ultimate, and she typically will strip all the positive effects. So like if you're going up against Young Avengers, it takes all of them down. And then Spider-Woman, I do her special to ability block Squirrel Girl, right?
Oh yeah,
And
that
then
should be game over.
yeah, and then
Close to it.
yeah, and then Captain Marvel. Not only does she do a lot of damage, but right here, the splash right here is very useful in clearing deflects and evasions and things like that. Right there, so clear all evade. So that's great. It just seems to work well against Young Avengers, and I've been able to take out fully 16 out of their mind max red stars. I mean, big
Impressive.
ones, big ones. So I found that to be more than just useful for Scourge event, right? I can use them in other two game modes. Then Young Avengers, I feel like
Can I go back to Nico? How are you enjoying the RNG? Is that affecting war, or is it just about the positive the effects that you're clearing off of the
it's
opponent?
usually over by the time you get to the RNG part.
So it doesn't even matter because the Doom just smashes everybody. Okay.
Yeah, because the way her kit reads, if I read it correctly, is that the first time is fine. It's the second and third attacks that have the RNG elements, right?
Oh, maybe I didn't read it correctly. Never mind.
Yeah. So like, I mean, maybe I like, so like right here. So like here after the use of ability after the first time.
Okay. Got it.
So it just doesn't matter.
Wait, what is the point of that with that long cooldown then? I thought I didn't read it correctly because I didn't invest in her. I didn't really build her up. So
I don't know, man. It's pretty bad.
all right. Okay.
I mean,
that's weird. Yeah, that's weird.
I mean, but she does get extra things. You know what I mean? She gets an extra thing, right? But still,
Are you using that second time in war?
No,
Jesus.
never
One, two, three,
once.
I've 8-turn cooldown.
I've never used it on either of these, right? I don't see how that's a thing, to be honest with you. So
strange.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to the more interesting team, the Young Avengers.
Young Avengers. So Young Avengers, my goodness. So Young Avengers, I feel like we've already got, they're very good on war, of course, right?
I bet this is gonna be nasty.
Yeah, and
that's a nasty war defense. Jeez.
Yeah, so I'm working on him. Like I know a lot of people have asked me the question: should I get the 6 red on Squirrel Girl? Probably. I'm not sure. We're gonna find out, right?
I did. I'm not sure if that was a good or a bad move, but I did.
Yeah, we'll find out, and hopefully I get another star there on Kate before the event comes around. I feel like I'm pretty ready to go on that. I'm probably more excited about Young Avengers than A-Force. Like if you ask me which one you should do first, I mean that it depends on your roster, right? And then Inhumans is like third priority, and I've been just working on them slowly.
Okay.
And then I made the mistake of putting ISOs on Quake. As everybody knows, it cost me 300,000 of the currency, so it is what it is.
I made a slight mistake on a couple Squirrel Girl ones like that because I thought I was putting the third one on. I was putting the fourth one on.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. You did 2, but I did 5. So, oh my God, it is what it is. I mean, I definitely could have put those on Agatha, right? You know what I mean?
Well, at least you get some use in Scourge. Some.
I doubt that it's gonna be very useful at all. I do want to talk about war teams for a minute. Well, that's a interesting one there. War team, because Arena is primarily dorm hold, right? And so I do on defense. I use dorm hold, Dormammu. And I typically will go from like 15 to 1. I don't fall out of that. Now, we are in a very old shard, so there's a ton of people here with Dormammu. And then
I feel like that I'm the only one without Dormammu. You guys all smashing everybody with Dormammu.
I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I think a couple thousand people have Dormammu. Maybe they're getting close to 3,000. This team is what I use to counter that team right there. I use that team to counter that team. And then I also will see other teams in Arena, like this one right here with Silly Noir. And I think there's 2 versions of this team that I see. One that has Dormammu, and then sometimes I see it with Agatha instead of Dormammu. And basically, I use the same exact team, but instead of Dormammu or Agatha, I use Loki for the speed. So Loki goes there in place of Dormammu, and it absolutely runs over that team like very easy. It's like one of the easier matches out there. Just really simple. Go ahead.
Quick question. Any issues with landing your debuffs, ability blocks, stuns, anything like that?
Not so much. I mean, I've got a blue ISO 4, 5 red, 7 yellow, Morgan Le Fay. I did give Agatha, she's at 16.55, but blue ISO
Okay.
3, but I put the extra 2% in her focus. I probably will take her to blue ISO 4 next. When Morgan, then Agatha, I think is the next choice on that.
It's a good choice.
I mean, it's possible that it happens. It just doesn't seem to happen very often.
Yeah.
Like 25% of the time, I think I don't land the stun with Agatha on Morgan Le Fay on
Okay.
turn 1, and so it is what it is. Then as far as Crucible, I could give a shout out to Dorky Dad. He kind of set me up with this idea that I split up my defense. Now I've gone.
Oh.
I've gone 7-2, and I should have won my last one, but I botched it by 1 attack. Web Warriors on defense. My opponent's Web Warriors on defense.
They're tricky.
And you know what? I'm finding that X Factor is just letting me down over and over again. So I put them on defense because they're messing me up. So I don't use them there anymore. Because they don't get that 35% offense like they get in Alliance War. And so I was trying to play them like they're in Alliance War, and they just don't work. They don't work the same. So I have Darkhold on defense. Check that.
How does that help? How are you countering Darkhold if you see them on defense when you don't have your own Darkhold?
Okay.
That's why I've been fearful to put mine.
So let's say my opponent goes full offense, right? Well, they still have to deal with Dormammu over here. And this team right here. So typically most people in room 6 use Infinity Watch. Infinity Watch is probably the most popular team. Well, guess what? Dormammu shuts down Nebula. So not that it's impossible, but you basically this is kind of like an anti-Infinity Watch team. So if my opponent goes full offense, they still have to get through my Dorm hold, right? Which they're not going to get any turn bonus on that. There's no way you're clearing that quickly. You're going to have 0 points for turn bonus.
Yeah.
This, they're going to have to kill everybody twice unless they go in with Black Bolt, right? So I beat them on efficiency.
So are you getting full clears with your offense but you're winning the matches?
Okay, if it depends if they typically if both players put Dormammu on defense, then there's usually one room that can't be cleared. And both of you just can't clear one room.
See, my reasoning for going full offense, the wins and losses, you're getting similar rewards. So I want to get as many of those Crucible points for the store as possible. So I want to make sure I win all my battles. I don't want to have any non-cleared rooms.
Okay, so
that's why I've been fearful of the Darkhold on defense.
So when I play somebody that's full offense, I win every time because I'm more efficient, because they have to waste more time against my.
You win, but you get full clears and all the max currency.
We both get full clears.
Full clears, okay.
Yeah, if they're in a situation to full clear me, I'm gonna full clear them with more points because they had to go through harder teams. They had to go through their Dormhold and Dormammu.
What about a defense? What are you doing for Darkhold on defense if you see them without your own Darkhold?
Typically don't have. We just let that room go. Both teams aren't able to clear that room.
Okay.
Yeah, and
that scares me.
Yeah, and because I split them up, then they usually have to decide which one to clear, and then they usually have a hard time against one or the other.
That's nasty. That's nasty. I like it.
Yeah, it's served me pretty well. I feel like this strategy probably won't work a week from now or 2 weeks from now. Like it's constantly changing when you come up against people that know how to do it, and like things change all the time. And I think this is good for this week and maybe next week, and then I'm gonna have to switch it up again, and just do that. Now I typically like to use Infinity Watch over here. Typically like to use Young Avengers plus Shang-Chi. I typically like to use like A-Force plus Doom. I typically like to use Eternals, and then here I've got a lot of leftovers over here. Between Black
you got a lot more offense options than I do. So
yeah, like I typically got Uncanny X-Men and or like Weapon X, or there's a ton of things left over here. Kestrel, Secret Avengers. So I've got a lot left over. for those rooms. But every room's a little different. And then Blitz, I don't care about anymore. And then War, my God, my defense changes like every week. And so I think the main thing on defense in War is Dorm Hold on War is king. Young Avengers are very strong. Heroes for Hire, Marauders, and then the other 4 is just kind of is like mercenaries. Sometimes Wakandans is typically on defense in War now. Web Warriors and Astonishing X-Men on defense, and then depending on who we're playing against, usually also Skill Military goes on defense. So, but it changes up every week depending if we want to go more defense or more. And right now, if you're coming across alliance with 24 Dormammus versus another alliance with 24 Dormammus, full clears are becoming harder and harder. It's becoming harder and harder because the Dormammu Darkhold team on specifically Reactor and Bridge is really hard to get through. Very challenging to get through in those two. In fact, I wouldn't even attempt it until all the globals are down, and you have to go around them pretty much. So it's kind of a mess. It's becoming more and more challenging. When that situation happens. And here's the thing is, like, I know a lot of people don't have Dormammu now, but you'll get Dormammu soon. You'll get him eventually. You're in Cosmic.
Eventually. I don't know about soon.
No, but you have the team ready to go for Cosmic. That's going to go relatively quickly. And then now that the Cosmic Crucible's out, you should be able to get the pieces for you have 4 out of 5 legendaries. You just need the 5th legendary. That might happen in a week. You could have a baby Dormammu in a week or two. Yeah.
Hopefully, if everything goes right.
All right. Any other questions before we go?
No, I like your Crucible defense. That is nasty. I hope I don't fight you in Crucible. And I like your war options. And
it's bumped me up a tier. Like, you know how they have like Masters and Diamond? I've gone up a tier. Nice. So like I'm getting better rewards because it's worked. I've gone 7 and 2, but like I said, I really think Web Warriors, is don't sleep on Web Warriors. Put them on defense. And I lost my last one because of Web Warriors and X Factor not working. The X Factor usually works against Web Warriors. Zemo Factor specifically because Zemo's special can't be dodged and Longshot's basic can't be dodged. But but everything else went wrong. You don't get the advantage that you get in War. War offense. So I put them on defense now because they annoyed me to no end. It is what it is.
They're better. They're really good for defense.
Yeah.
Because of the RNG. Sometimes they get smashed. Sometimes they beat people.
Absolutely. All right, head over to Valley Flying's channel where we did the rest review on his, and we go over Blitz teams and here Blitz save squads at length on your video. All right.
Yes.
Bye for now. Woo!